Welcome to Our Generation with the Times, where we are here with one of the business owners down here on the square, and we are excited to interview her. How are you doing today?
Good,
Good,
good.
good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am a nurse practitioner. I have raised my family here in Noblesville for 18 years, and I started my business 5 years ago. And now we have our first brick and mortar store here in downtown Noblesville. So I couldn't think of a place we'd rather be after raising our kids here. We love the community and particularly the downtown area.
Yes, it is very nice. So what is your business?
I'm sorry, yeah, that would be helpful.
No,
right?
you're good.
So I own a medical aesthetic spa. So we focus on anti-aging treatments for patients of all ages, and then we also have a wellness program we're in the process of expanding. So we do medical supervised weight loss, and then we have an IV therapy program as well right now.
Okay, nice. So
Yeah.
what made you get started in wanting your own and kind of the area that you went into?
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for 14 years now, and I have worked for two different plastic surgeons, and I worked for another busy med spa here on the north side of town. And after working for everybody else for 8 years, I think you take bits and pieces of different experiences you have and think, okay, how can I make this different for patients? And so I decided to start on my own. I wanted more autonomy, but the biggest thing is our industry has really grown significantly in the last 5 years, and what I pride myself in is that what I enjoy most about my job is getting to know my patients and building those relationships. So when you work in busy practices, that's more challenging to do because it's typically you see patients every 15 minutes, and
Oh,
it
wow.
gets to be not professionally fulfilling. At least it wasn't for me.
Right.
So I loved what I did, but I wanted to really invest more time in my patients and really understand what drives my patients into our business, and how I can get to the heart of what they're looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what challenged me to start my own business, and really just focusing more on the patient and getting to spend more time with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a ton of patients every day, and I choose to do that.
Yeah.
I just spend longer time with them, which
That is
is
nice.
I think fulfilling for them, but as well for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
you mentioned so walk us through the process of like your what you offer.
Yeah, so we offer, like I said, an array of kind of anti-aging treatments. We offer what we call wrinkle relaxers or Botox products. There's actually 5 different wrinkle reducers on the market now. So we offer 3 of the 5 on the market now. So that's, I think, one of the most popular treatments that drives most patients into the business. We also do fillers. We do collagen stimulating injections to replace, natural volume loss through the aging process. We also have a full-time esthetician on staff who specializes in everything skin. So she does everything from chemical peels, microneedling, facials. We just purchased a hydrofacial machine, which is like a wonderful facial experience for patients. And then we sell prescription skincare. So everything we do, we're big advocates of taking care of the skin. And then we also have a very part-time nurse that does our wellness program.
Nice. What does a wellness program offer?
So we do peptide weight loss therapy. So I kind of handle that part of the practice and supervise patients through that process. She currently is doing our IV therapy program. So we have IVs that are anything from energy IVs to anti-aging to if you had a really good night the night before and need just a little hydration, we have that as well too. So
I've been interested, like I've seen about the IV.
Yeah.
And you see it and you're like, what do I know what they're putting in that?
Yeah.
So what would be so what is that?
Every cocktail, as we say, is a little bit different. They're infused with just a variety of vitamins and minerals, and anytime we are infusing directly into the bloodstream, we're getting greater absorption through the body and faster absorption too. So, I mean, getting hydrated in general obviously makes people feel better, but then when we're targeting like anti-aging, we'll put different things in that cocktail like glutathione, which can kind of help brighten the skin. If we're doing something for immunity, we'll add more like zinc and vitamin C to help aid the immune process through flu and cold season. So there's a lot of different things we can do.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for like mood and wellness and
mood and not
because
specific.
isn't B12 good for?
Yeah, we do. We offer B12 injections. That's part of our weight loss program. And some
Okay.
of our aesthetic patients, obviously, living in Indiana, particularly during the winter, We do vitamin D injections as well because
Mhm.
everybody in Indiana needs more vitamin D
Yep,
because
I
the
had
lack of
some
sunlight.
blood tests and they was like, "Yep, you're lacking vitamin D." Of course I
Yes,
am.
of course. Everybody in Indiana is. So
Right.
we do D injections and B12 injections too, just for energy, help metabolism. So those are also offered as well.
That's cool. So you
Yeah.
mentioned that you wanted to be downtown Noblesville.
Yes.
What made you want to be?
Well, when I first started out on my own, I rented a small loft above Benchmark Studios there
Hmm.
off of Logan Street. So I've got kind of the taste of downtown Noblesville, and I grew up in a different city here on the north side of town, and I wanted just a smaller town feel, for my family as well.
Hmm.
So I just love that, obviously our community is growing leaps and bounds now,
Yeah.
which is interesting as a business owner too sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just love that still, even though we're growing, we still kind of maintain like the square feeling and that
Absolutely.
hometown feel. So
Yeah.
I just love that. I love that feeling for my business, and I just felt obviously very connected to our community after living here for 19 years.
Yeah. 19 years. That is a
Yeah,
long time. So
yeah.
you've seen a lot of changes.
A ton of changes. Yeah, my mom is what brought us to Noblesville originally. She was a teacher in the Noblesville Schools District for over 25 years. So she's like, my grandchildren have to be in Noblesville schools. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, done.
Yeah. So have you always had kind of a medical wanting to be in that field, even when you
Yeah,
was
I
younger?
I didn't I kind I'll be honest, when I went to Purdue, when I was 18, my dad said, "Well, I'm only sending you to Purdue. I'm only paying for you to go to Purdue." So I said, "Well, that makes it really easy."
Right.
So I knew at an early age I wanted to help people. Wasn't sure exactly in what capacity, and to be 100% honest, at 18 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't have the same motivation I do as an
Absolutely.
adult.
Right.
So I became a social worker first. That was an interesting path for me. I loved the feeling that obviously I could help patients, but I got, I guess, kind of burned out in the field. I'm a pretty sensitive person, and
Mm,
I got really connected to my clients.
yeah.
And it's really challenging, I think, in social work, often depending on what arena you're in, to see progress with your clients or patients.
Hmm.
So, when I was probably mid 30s, I decided, okay, I really have always wanted to be a nurse, but wasn't motivated enough when I was young. So, I went back to school when I was about 35,
Nice.
and my son was 1 and my daughter was 3. So, it was a big strain for my family.
Yeah.
It was a very intensive 14-month program, but we all made it through, and I kind of stumbled into aesthetics by accident. I
Mm,
got a job with a ENT who was also board certified as a facial plastic surgeon. So that's
okay.
kind of how I fell into the aesthetic arena by accident. So,
Yeah.
and then just learned to really enjoy it.
Yeah. I love that. So what's the I know you talking about building relationships with the clients. It's
Hmm.
like your main thing that you
Oh,
enjoy.
I love that part. Yeah.
What else as you was growing your business
Hmm.
that you just kind of enjoyed the process and what challenges that you may have had?
Oh, there's a lot of challenges.
I know. That's why I always have that at the end.
I think outside of, obviously, like we talked about building the relationships with patients, but seeing that growth with patients. And we really truly believe in, true beauty reflects from the inside out. And
Hmm.
seeing that metamorphosis with our patients has been extremely professionally fulfilling as an aging woman myself. So that part's been really eye opening and, like I said, very fulfilling. I think, I have been challenged as a leader. I went to school to be a medical professional, nurse practitioner, but nobody tells you how to run a business.
Hmm.
So I am extremely fortunate in that my husband does a lot in the practice for us. He does all the financial stuff and all the numbers and the things that I hate. So
Hmm.
I have a huge support system on that, and I'm extremely grateful for that. And then we've got a great staff too that's works extremely hard. But I'd be lying if I said the leadership aspect is
Yeah.
challenging. I don't consider myself a natural born leader, so I've
Mm.
had to kind of come into that on my own and develop those skills, which are still developing on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that because I feel like as being an entrepreneur, you have to tap into skills that you wouldn't normally
A
tap
hundred
into.
percent, and that you didn't know you needed.
No, absolutely. But it kind of makes you different as a person.
It really does. I mean, I've changed a lot over the years. I've gained a lot more confidence, but as an entrepreneur too, it can be very isolating.
Hmm.
And there's, I'm thankful, like I said, I have a great support system, but I feel grateful that I've connected with some other small business owners because it can be very isolating and it's scary. I mean,
Yes.
particularly when our business is going into a summer season where it's slower, and then we
Mm.
have the added construction right
Yeah.
now. So it's scary as a small business owner, and it's like
Hmm.
you have to have some faith, of course, in the process. And
Absolutely.
I think the more you can connect with other business leaders and know that a lot of the things I think that we all feel are similar and that you're not alone in the process has
Yeah.
been very comforting for me
Yeah.
because
Abs-
I learn something new every day.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How important do you think personal development is?
Oh, huge. It's
Yeah.
been huge. I hired a business coach last fall as we moved into this space and we wanted to expand the business because, like I said, there's so many things I want to do, but not sure exactly how to get there.
Hmm.
And she's been as helpful helping us develop the business, but also helping me develop as a leader
Hmm.
because you really can't lead people until you know yourself really well.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I've uncovered a lot of interesting things.
Isn't it always you're like, wow, now
Some good
that makes
things.
sense why I respond the way I do.
Exactly. And just personalities and how to navigate
Yeah.
personalities in dealing with, managing a staff of women. I
Mm.
mean, that I love it, but it can be challenging some days as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
learning those dynamics has been very eye opening too.
Yeah. Is there a particular, do you like to read before I read or do audiobooks? Do you like?
I do. I find myself migrating more towards audio now just
Hmm.
because I have, more time where I could just slip in my
Yeah.
AirPods and versus I hate to say I'm not a huge reader and that's
Yeah.
embarrassing, but
No,
like
no, it's good. No
I feel
worries.
like the when I could throw in, like I said, my AirPods and
Yeah.
go for a walk or listen to something on my way into work, like that's been
Is,
helped me in kind of the busy life of being a business owner.
yeah. Is there a particular author or book that may have been helpful during your business
That is,
journey?
oh my gosh, there's been so many. There's one that actually my front office assistant just recently had recommended to me, and it's not really anything directly related to business, but it's called Relentless,
Mm.
and it's about I think he's, for lack of better words, a not, I mean, mental coach, yes, but he has coached a lot of high professional athletes like Michael Jordan,
Okay.
Kobe Bryant. So he does a lot of personal development with them and also, of course, physical development as well. But it's been interesting. He kind of categorizes the different types of leaders and how you lead and
Mm.
how to further develop those skills. So it's been really fascinating.
Yeah, I like that. I'll have to look at
Yeah,
that.
it's been an interesting one.
Yeah, I have several books that I'm into at
Are you?
one time. So I
That's
just
what I tend to do. I have
I
numerous
know.
ones on my nightstand.
Yeah, so one that I'm listening to is "The Mountain Is You." Have you ever heard that book?
No.
It's really a good book.
Okay.
And it's a quick, easy listen to. And it just really helps you to see how we self sabotage ourselves and
100%.
how the way our mind processes and thinks about things, like the perspective. When you're kind of called out on it, and when you looked at it, you're like, oh, I do that.
Oh, yeah.
No wonder why things haven't been, going in the direction, because I have personally been thinking about it the wrong way. So
Yeah. A Mountain is You. I'll have to keep
yeah,
that one in mind
and the
because
Four Agreements. Have you ever read that?
I have heard that, and I think I honestly have it, and I have not read it.
That one is a really small read.
Yes, because
But
it's a
that
pretty,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, it's a good book because again, it helps you to kind of see how we was programmed as young children in a specific environment and child and you know demographic or whatever you're at. But as you get older,
Hmm.
you realize you're like, okay, that's really not what I like.
Yeah,
But I feel
yeah.
like that's like you was told you had to go to Purdue. Like there was
Exactly.
no option. And so you do that.
Yeah.
But then if you would have had a choice, how would that
What
have
would have
played
been
out
different?
differently?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
No, and I mean, I definitely identify with that because I didn't really figure out what I wanted to do with my life until I was in my mid 30s.
I
So,
think
yeah.
that's like I'm the more that I talk to business owners, because I've interviewed over 90 business owners.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so the more that I talk to them, that's kind of been the feel is, when you hit that 30 mark, it's like a whole new life.
It was for me, definitely. It was
Yeah.
very eye opening. And even though I had young kids at the time, I was like, I truly believe it's never too late. I
Never
had a
is.
friend reach out to me the other day that's in her 40s and she wants to go back to nursing school. And she said, my husband thinks I'm crazy. I was like, I don't think it's ever too late. Like,
Absolutely not.
I
Yeah.
waited mid-30s. I became an NP in my early 40s. So like it's never too late to,
Yeah.
chase your dreams. So
Yeah, absolutely. So where do you see your practice in the next few years?
oh, that's a great question.
Say still here.
I know. It's a day to day,
Yeah.
right? I think, ideally what I would like to do is expand more into the wellness arena. As I say, a working business owner, that's a continued challenge for me because I'm so busy seeing patients. I would love to get to a point where I can step back and see my patients, a couple times a week, but then be able to step back in those other days, actually manage and build the practice because it's hard to do both at the same time.
Absolutely.
So I ideally would love to bring on somebody, another provider, to kind of expand the wellness portion of our program because I do think they have a lot of similarities and can kind of we can cross promote a lot of our services. And I would love to be able to treat our patients, holistically from the inside out. Because of course, everything I do is more, outside beauty wise, but I'd also like to take care of our patients. And 95% of our patients are women. And I would love to feel like we can take care of, the whole woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So where can ones find you at?
We are located off of 93 South 9th Street, so on the corner of 9th and Maple there in the heart of our construction arena right now.
Right, right there.
So we are open 5 days a week right now. Like I said, I see patients typically 5 days a week. I do travel a couple other locations to see patients, but that is our main location. So yeah, and our esthetician, like I said, she's there 5 days a week as well.
And our social media website?
Yes, that would be helpful.
No, you're good.
Our website is big mouthful beautyandgraceaesthetics.com. All of our services are listed there. On Facebook, we are BG Aesthetics 19, and then Instagram, we're Beauty Grace Aesthetics.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. So if someone would be interested in reaching out to you, what are some things that they should expect?
Yeah, so we do a lot of our patients book their appointments online, but obviously we have a full-time office assistant. A lot of people, I feel like in this day and age, a lot of people tend to text. So people can text us at our main number, which is the 317-669-1299 number. Obviously, if patients want to call, we can answer questions about consultations. We do consultations if patients are not sure, a lot of women will come in and say, "Oh, I don't really know what I want to do. I just know like this wrinkle or this part of my face is bothering me. What should I do?"
Right.
So consultations are a great way to start. That way we can kind of pinpoint, what we want to do and kind of develop a plan. And that journey is different for every patient. So we like to develop a kind of comprehensive plan, and how and when they start is completely up to the patient. But we like to give them a whole range of different opportunities.
Nice. Do you accept insurance?
We do not.
Okay.
So we are a cash pay practice only. So I wish our services were covered by insurance, but they definitely
they're not.
I
don't know if that will ever happen.
No, I would love to think that someday that could happen, but as a provider, to think about accepting insurance is a daunting task too, because it is a whole nother beast.
Yes.
So yeah,
absolutely.
unfortunately, insurance does not cover us wanting to look and feel better sometimes.
No, they don't. They want us to be sick and sad.
Yes.
Well, I've enjoyed interviewing you. And
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like for them to know about you and your practice? And
no, and like I said, we're really excited about the Peony Festival coming up. We're a sponsor for the Peony Festival,
nice.
So we will have a tent over at Seminary Park, and then our office will be one of the stops on the Brunch and Bloom Trail. I have to say that very carefully because every time I try to say it, I mix it up. It's a mouthful.
Yes.
But our office will be open that day. We are considered one of the rest and recharge sites. So we'll have some refreshments. And then if patients want to come in, we're doing walk-in, skincare consultations. We'll have some promotions on our products, but just an extra chance to open our doors to the community.
When is that?
That is next Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's coming up. So
I love the peonies over there.
Oh, it's widely seen throughout our practice. It's my favorite flower.
Is it? I love that.
It is. So we definitely wanted to hop on and get involved this year. So we're excited about that.
They do it every year.
Yeah, and 25,000 people came last year. It was.
Can you
my daughter and I went down to the festival because I thought, I want to check it out because I'd love to be involved next year.
Yeah.
We waited in line for 2 hours to get flowers. Like it was,
Oh
I've
my
never seen so
goodness.
many people milling around downtown Noblesville. So
Wow.
as a
Wow.
business owner, that's super exciting.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're excited about that.
I wonder if they're gonna ooh that construction.
I know. I'm like, that'll be interesting. I'm glad
That
that's not
will.
my job that
Right,
weekend,
right. I'm
but
sure the mayor will get plenty of letters and phone
yes,
calls and text
yes,
messages and inboxes and
yes. I'm glad to not have his job.
yeah, I actually follow him on Facebook and he had made a someone had said something about the construction and he was like, here's my number if you would like to
Oh
call and
yeah,
talk.
I mean,
Like
I've
I
heard him
love it.
say that
Yeah, I
numerous
love that.
times at
Yeah.
different events, and I'm like, that's pretty amazing that he puts himself out there
Yeah, well, I
to.
mean, if you think about it, like if you have when you put stuff on social media when you're upset, like it's so out of context. Like let's have a conversation.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, and I really
Yeah,
I do like that he is very open.
a hundred
But that's
percent,
just that's that generation. He's
definitely.
younger, and so he's bringing that different vibe of that
Yes.
more. Let's have a
Right,
conversation
right.
type
Let's
thing.
talk about it. Yeah. And I think obviously, as we've talked about numerous times through the podcast, I mean, as a business owner, I won't lie, there are some frustrations, but
Oh yeah.
to think about the long-term plan and all the development that's happening
Mm-hmm.
downtown, I mean, that's exciting. It's just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a headache right now
Yeah,
that I know we'll all
growth is
get through.
always a headache, even when you
Definitely.
grow in any areas. You always
Yes.
have those
Business,
moments.
any part of business. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll be excited when it's over. But yeah, I mean, just the growth I've seen as a living in this community, I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. So it's super exciting time to be downtown.
Yeah. So I take it that your practice will be here forever.
Yeah, I mean, at least for 7 years, we have a
Yeah.
7-year lease.
Oh
So
well, there you go.
that's the plan.
Yeah.
We've talked about expanding beyond that, but I'm at a kind of one day at a time right now, just
Yeah.
seeing
You
where
mentioned
life
that you
lands.
had products. So what are
Yes.
some of the products
Yeah.
that you have? Sorry, I
So
didn't.
yeah, we sell two medical grade skincare lines. One is called Zeo Skin Health, and the other one is called Skin Better. We also sell some prescription eye drops called Upneek that are really cool. That basically kind of like a little caffeine boost for your eyes. Kind of
Really?
like looks like you had a really good night's sleep.
Do you feel like you
They
have, or it just
don't.
looks?
They don't.
Oh,
It's
so you
so
can be tired
you can
inside, but
be
your eyes.
tired, but you don't look tired. So that's a really fun one.
That's fun.
We have lash serums that are kind of fun too, but those are kind of the main bulk of our kind of retail products right now. So
Okay.
yeah,
I love that. Well, thank you again,
thank you, Melissa.
and definitely check her out.
Yeah, we would love to have anyone in our office.
Yeah.
We see patients from 20 to 70, so
Wow.
there's no age gap. I know sometimes our older patients come in and say, "Oh, I feel like I should have been here 20 years ago." No, like
Yeah.
we see
No.
patients of all ages. So
Absolutely. I'm definitely gonna check out that IV because I've been wanting to, but I
yes,
just been kind of nervous.
everybody always is. Like it's not
Yeah,
super
but I like
exciting
how
to
you
think
kind of
about it.
explain because you want to know like you're injecting something in my
Oh, a
body.
hundred
So
percent,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yep, yep. All right. Well,
All
this
right.
has been Melissa Shaw with Our Generation with the Times, and I would love for you to support her. Check the Peony Festival out next. You said next Saturday. What
Next
time
Saturday.
next Saturday?
I believe it's. Don't quote me, and I feel embarrassed that I don't know this, but I know we are going to be open from 10 to 3.
Okay.
I don't know the exact festival
Got you.
hours, but I think that's around the time. So.
Yep. Yep.